Hey folks, it's Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. And I know I had done a video a long time ago where I put a bunch of these Terminator reviews together, but after seeing Terminator, Sega Genesis, and hating it with a lot of fiber in my being, I wanted to go back and watch the films like this. The Terminator. This is the special edition DVD, which is a flipper disc. One side is the movie, the other side are some pretty good documentaries. About an hour-long documentary called Other Voices. We have interviews with James Cameron and Michael Biehn. And a little retrospective documentary from around the time T2 was coming out. Trailers, TV spots, a lot of other stuff. I love this movie. Definitely my favorite of the Terminator films. I know a lot of people say T2, and T2 is a good movie, but for me, this is my favorite. And the reason being, I love the mood. It's R-rated, tone, mood. I love the fact that The Terminator is a horror film. It is a horror film. It's a slasher film. It's a dark, I don't want to say gritty, but it's a dark, foreboding, atmosphere type of movie with the Brad Fiedel music. And Brad Fiedel, when he left the Terminator franchise, that definitely, the music's never been the same without Brad Fiedel, which I believe what he said was he mimicked sort of if a robot had a heartbeat. It's like, did such an excellent job, and just the lighting, and I think the low budget was used very effectively by James Cameron. And I know he had done a film called Piranha 2: The Spawning, and I think he admitted in one of the interviews that he pretty much got fired like twice on that film. And obviously that didn't go well. But I'm sure he pretty much thinks that this is his first actual film. They actually went to Dick Smith for the makeup effects, and Dick Smith was like, hey, I know a guy you should look at, and that's Stan Winston. Some very nice early work effects. Does every single one of them hold up today? No. But for a 1984 film that's low budget, I can at least understand that. But some effects are nice, and you have some stop motion at the end, which I know some people don't like stop motion, but stop motion I think has a bit of charm to it. It really does help the cast of this film. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger as a Terminator, which at first they were thinking of Lance Henriksen as the Terminator, because James Cameron, he thought, okay, a robot infiltrator, have him be look somewhat of a normal guy, not a big, built like a brick shit house Austrian. But I know at one point also O.J. Simpson was approached, but they're like, oh, we can't use O.J. because no one would believe a nice guy like him as a killer if the glove fits. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a great role, and I know at one point I think his agent wanted him to do the hero, but he was more interested in the Terminator, and he played it perfectly. Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese, he did a great job. One of his best roles. My favorite role will always be Hicks in Aliens, but my second favorite. Linda Hamilton did a wonderful job as Sarah Connor. And, I mean, you know the story. In the future, 2029, Skynet supercomputer war against humanity. Its big last hope is John Connor, leader of the resistance. They sent a Terminator back to 1984 to kill his mom before John Connor is born. Michael Biehn's Kyle Reese is sent back as well to protect her. And the chase is on. And Lance Henriksen is in this in supporting role, as is Paul Winfield, who does a good job. And yeah, there is the one plot hole in the film, the big one, the paradox of, okay, you find out, of course, that Kyle Reese is John Connor's dad. Well, the very first time in the timeline, how was John Connor born? Because the very first time Kyle Reese would not have been there, which he would not put his dick in Sarah Connor's pooch, and thus there be no seed known as John Connor. So how the fuck does that work? I have no idea. So, but yes, it's a big plot hole that doesn't make sense when you think about it for 30 seconds. But the rest of the movie is very well done that I forgive it for that. It's like, okay, I'll take the leap, and it's sad that there's not a single Terminator movie that wanted to do this kind of tone again, of that horror film, of that just most of the film is at night, and just the store being just this not adventurous, not da 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 da. It's like da 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 da, ba na na da na. Like just really oh shit sort of thing. What do I love about the film? I love a lot about it. I love the way the titles come up, what you see in slow motion. Titles go by the screen as the great Brad Fidel music is playing. And then the reveal of the Terminator. I love the look of the city. I mean, they shot on a low budget. They used the locations well. The little fleeting moments we get of the future war for a low budget is well done with models and all sorts of things. That I'm sorry, they have a certain physicality that a lot of CGI does not have. Yeah, CGI, you can make the whole world blow up. But when there's nothing tangible when you're watching it, then it becomes useless. It becomes a video game. I don't play a video game and go, wow, I'm playing real life. Even if it's a high-tech video game, a PC, PS4, later PS5, PS7 game, it is certain physicality is just it's hard to describe. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think this is his best role in this franchise. A lot of people would say T2, but I would like to see him play an evil Terminator again if you're going to do another one. Like Terminator Genisys could have been. Okay, he was a hero in 2 and 3. Have him go back to the bad guy. That'd be interesting. An updated T800 or a T1000 or whatever the fuck, but hey, what do I know? But I'm sure Arnold doesn't want to play a villain again, but he did a great job. He had that cold stare, those movements, and the police car moving his head as if he was a security camera. When Dick Miller has a small role, Uzi 9mm, the plasma rifle. Hey, only what you see here, man. Like, you can't do that. Wrong. Or when he looking in the phone book to all the Sarah Connors knocking on the door. Sarah Connor. Just cold, calculating, don't give a fuck attitude. Great direction as well by James Cameron. The scene in the Technor bar, club, however you want to call it. The slow motion, Arnold getting the laser sighting, slowly coming upon Sarah Connor's head. Michael Biehn getting the shotgun. Well edited. Him pumping the shotgun blast, hitting Arnold, going back. Even then, I go to the beginning of the film when Michael Biehn arrives, and it just painfully shows that Jai Courtney is not half the actor Michael Biehn is. Jai Courtney, he's being bland, vanilla, and I can compare it because it's the same scenes at the beginning of that film, well, the first 20 minutes, playing the same role, and Michael Biehn has a certain intensity to him, he has a certain fire in him, he has a certain it factor to him. When he's saying, you listen and understand, that Terminator is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop ever until you are dead. There's a certain pathos to him. Yes, I can use that word with this film. There's a certain intensity. Oh shit, this guy is serious. Or when he gets arrested later and that dickhead psychiatrist who's in 1, 2, and he makes an appearance in 3 as well. And he's talking about that's what he does. He'll wade through you, put his hand down your throat and pull your fucking heart out. You can't stop it. Again, Michael Biehn sold the role, and he just brought that intensity to it. And plus, he didn't look like he was training for the Olympics and a bodybuilder, which made sense because you're in a future war. You're not going to have probably not going to have a lot of food to get pumped up for, get ready for the bodybuilder tour. Linda Hamilton, I like the fact that she doesn't. This is not a trying to be rude. I like the fact she doesn't look like a model. Yeah, models are hot if I want to fuck them. But sometimes I'm fine with a normal looking person because I'm like, hey, I can relate to a normal looking person. I can't relate to a model because, say, hard, mean to say, there's not a lot of models around here. There's a lot of people who look normal. And Linda Hamilton, she could act better than the 12-year-old girl who played Sarah Connor in the new film. And she looked normal and she could act better. And Linda Hamilton pulled it off very well. I definitely gave a different performance in Terminator 2. Here, much more innocent and easy for us to like her and care for her safety. Every single Terminator film after this, well, I have to see Salvation again. But with Arnold, they always gotta play these stupid humor. I mean, T2 I can deal with. But let's just start with the Hasta La Vista baby and the smirk. But that I can deal with because it's, I think James Cameron handled it well enough. But I prefer this where the Terminator is not a joke. The Terminator is an unrelenting killing machine that will pull your fucking heart out. I mean, when he fucks up the punch, one of them is Bill Paxton, another is Brian Thompson, the bad guy in that film. And it was cool to see Bill Paxton and the Terminator like punches his hole through someone, and there's just blood on his hand, and you're close, give them to me. Nothing clean, right? Nothing clean. Just punches a hole right through him. Don't give a fuck. Hey, I'm here with my dick out, my ass out in the moonlight. I don't punch a hole through your fucking chest. This Terminator don't fuck around, and that's why I was pissed off when in the new film, he just killed in 30 seconds. And I know someone was saying, well, Matt, they did plan it probably for 10, 12 years. I don't give a fuck. You're still killing the classic Terminator that everyone remembers and what started your fucking franchise in 30 fucking seconds. Yes, that's a fucking insult. And the fact that they did that and thought, oh, it's perfectly fine shows how idiotic, stupid motherfuckers, the makers of that film. Of course, you got Alan Taylor, who made Thor 2, the Marvel film that no one fucking remembers. This is when James Cameron was an actual director. Not nowadays, Jimmy Cammey, Avatar, which I don't like, fucking Titanic, which I don't like, and oh yeah, that film erases this, but it's the real Terminator 3, and I'm like, okay, that new film, alright. You don't erase this? Bullshit. This movie is 10 times better than your piece of shit, Sega Genesis. And it just kills me, man. It fucking kills me. I love the little supporting role by Paul Winfield, Lance Henriksen, who are policemen. I thought they played their roles very well. And just everything is just epic that I remember. The Brad Fiedel music. Not just the main theme, but even when Arnold's in the big vehicle and Linda Hamilton's helping Kyle Reese, helping Michael Biehn, and you have that music. Just gets your blood pumping. And again, I like the horror film aspect. For example, there's this guy who is with Linda Hamilton, sort of her roommate, her friend, and he gets some funny business where he makes a sex phone call and he doesn't know it's Sarah Connor. He thinks it's his girlfriend. First, we're going to take out your blouse. But take the buttons off your blouse. Oh shit, Sarah, is Ginger there? And then right when she gets on, he repeats the same thing. First, don't take off the buttons on your blouse. See, that's humor that made sense. When I say made sense, it fits the film. Not fucking Arnold talk to the Han like part 3, or Arnold, well, bad boys, what you going to do? Like in the fucking new film. But no, when someone's knocking on Terminator's door, he's looking for responses and he goes, fuck you, asshole. That makes me chuckle. But it fits the film. And just great back and forth. Michael Biehn and Linda Hamilton, one vehicle. The Terminator in another vehicle is changing firepower. When the Terminator, he goes into the police station and he just looks, I'll be back. He just drives that fucking car, running a guy over, and just wipes out the whole police station. Again, shows that's the Terminator. That's the Terminator that I want to see again. But you will never see it again because Arnold doesn't want to play a bad guy. He's always got to be the good guy now. In Terminator fashion, apparently. I want to see that horror film. That whole scene in the police station. The way the store was done. The lighting. Everything's dark. The lights are cut. And people just get blown away left and right. Sarah Connor and them are just hearing the screams of these police officers. The yells as they're dying. It's like, oh shit, I don't want to be in this situation. This is a horrible situation to be in. That was what was great about it. And I like the fact that, I'm trying to think, was any, well, not many scenes in this movie was in daytime. I mean, you have the scene where he steps out and he's got the coat and stuff, and, you know, Sarah Connor, boom, boom. Just unrelenting. And just stuff, for example, when Arnold's running, gets on the windshield, just punches a hole right through the windshield while he's on fire. Like, that's something you don't want to fuck with. And yet, once in a while, you have an awkward effect. For example, there's a scene where the Terminator takes out his eyeball, and you have the fake head, and you can tell it's moving kind of herky-jerky, like this. And then when he puts on the glasses, he's moving much smoothly. Yeah, that doesn't hold up well. I will admit that and be honest. Because he's like jerking. And then when he puts the sunglasses on, just, yeah, I will admit. But I still like the up close effects at the end when he's telling the guy get out and he's driving. Or when he opens up his arm and he's fixing it. You got the blood on the wires and metal. And that's just totally... That's just cool. I don't know what else to say. It's cool. I mean, you're not going to see that anymore because they're too busy making Terminator films PG fucking 13. That's not just for guts, gore, and cuss words. Although it helps. It can help. Doesn't save a movie, but it can help on certain things. But it's just the tone, the mood, which is what this film had that none of the Terminator films... Even Terminator 2, which I like Terminator 2, but it never had the tone of this, which is why it's my favorite. And the love story. Let me get to the love story with Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor. It worked well. Brad Fidel's sweet music, and these two had chemistry together. You bought their love story. The fact it's only a small amount of time, but they fall in love. You bought it. And that's because the two actors are good actors, and they worked well together. And this is a better script by James Cameron and Gale Anne Hurd. So the love story, they got chemistry together, they worked very well together. And I know there's stuff I don't want to miss. I mean, the third act is great, where Sarah Connor's getting even more tough. On your feet, soldier! On your feet! They blow up the truck, and then the Terminator comes out, the T-800. Yeah, stop motion, but again, stop motion has a charm to me. I can't help it. That has more of a charm to me than just 100% CGI. That's my opinion. And it's a nice mix of practical effects as well. Nicely done by Stan Winston and his team. especially for the limited budget they had. Just like the scenes earlier in the, once in a while, Michael Biehn has flashbacks to the future and certain things didn't happen. Didn't happen. Something's happening. The flying machines and I think it's HK killers. I probably fucked that up, but HKs attacking them and done with low budget models and this don't sound incredibly stupid, but even the way the lightning and electricity is shown at the beginning, I'm guessing was that animation when they do that. To me, that looks better than when they put CGI in that. Now the animation just looks more appealing to me when the lightning comes in and they and their pause as they go back to the 1984 time. It's not just me being nostalgic. Just to me looks better. I don't know how else to put it. But I forget where the hell I was going with earlier, but the finale where nice usage of Stan Winston's practical effects, battling the Terminator. Sad that Kyle Reese dies, but he died, fucked up the Terminator, or blown it in half at least. And where Sarah Connor has to take the last, but you Terminator fucker crushes the thing. Again, nice usage of music. Brad Fiedel's score is fantastic. Sound effects, build up, momentum. And another funny thing, my friend Effrey pointed this out when I was talking to him. He mentioned because he had seen Terminator Genesis and he hated it as well. And out of anybody I know, he's the biggest Terminator fan I know. And my friend Effrey hated this movie, which I don't blame him. I remember he was talking about, what was stupid? For example, there's a scene in Terminator Genesis, where John Connor gives Kyle Reese this picture. There's this picture of Sarah Connor. When you watch this film, the picture was burned. Not just on the edges, the whole fucking thing was burned. I mean, it was burned. It's a flashback, but again, shows. I guess they didn't bother watching this again, or some. They didn't watch all the way through. They just watched the beginning, because that's what they had to rip off. Fuck the rest of the movie. And even the thing where the guy says there's a storm coming, she goes, I know, as she rides off, and that epic music by Brad Fidel. I love everything about this movie. Yeah, once in a while the effects, like the herky-jerky Arnold when he's with his eye, tell it's a fake head, yeah. The paradox, how the fuck is John Connor born in the first place? But great acting by not only Arnold Schwarzenegger, who played it well, Michael Biehn, Linda Hamilton, Paul Winfield, Lance Henriksen, but excellent score by Brad Fidel, a great tone of a horror film, slasher film. It's bloody, well, not gore, but there's bits of blood. It's got a horrific tone to it. It just has that feel that they can't fucking replicate to save their lives, or they just say, fuck it, we don't want to do it. We don't even want to try. Even though it's a classic movie, but fuck it, we don't want to try. Fuck trying. And great love story. Chemistry between the two leads worked very well together. Action bits for a low budget film. Car chase, firepower back and forth. A Terminator fucked up everything. The scene where the Terminator. Oh, I was going to start on this, but I got sidetracked. When the Terminator kills her, Sarah Connor's friend and the friend's lover, just fuck up the guy and just bash him through the door like a rag doll, and there's blood on the guy's face, and just popping up and shooting, boom, 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 the Sarah Connor's friend in the back. If that's not a scene from a horror film, I don't know what is. I mean, I keep mentioning that because that's what the Terminator was, and it's like the makers of the film forgot that. They'd be like, okay, we don't make a Nightmare on Elm Street film, but it's going to be, instead of a horror film again, we're going to make it a straight up action movie. Which some people would argue they did bits of Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4, but I'm talking about action movie as in there's just guns and, well, Alice used Kung Fu. But it still kind of went into that thing. Maybe that's the wrong one to use. If Friday the 13th became an action movie, um, instead of just Jason slaughtering people, if it was, I don't know, some people say that's what Jason Goes to Hell was, a change of pace in more ways than one. Weirdly enough, Jason Goes to Hell kind of reminds me of this now, if I think about it, because it's an unrelenting killing machine, and you have a man and a woman, and a kid who could be destined to destroy the evil, as well as the woman, and now just something chasing the technically these two people. The Terminator music will play anytime. I'm going off track. Bottom line, I love this film. It was great watching it again, and it's still solid as ever. And fuck you, Terminator Genisys, for saying, "Oh, this doesn't exist anymore. It's retcon now. Let's flush into a toilet." I got so excited I hit myself with and the glass with the bash that fucking movie on my brain. Oh, this is flush into alternate timeline toilet zone. See that black hole is alternate timeline? Just fuck this movie, throw it in there. Kiss my ass movie. This film just works, and it works very, very well. Just great stuff. But that's just my opinion. To me, my favorite. I would have been fine if it was only this film, but I like T2. But if it was only this film, I would have been fine. That's just my opinion. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.